feeling this way since we hooked up.
I ain't walking away no matter what.
Tell me what you're fighting for, and I will fight with you. Cause this is our love story. This is our journey. This is our love story. This is our journey.
What do you think is the secret to a lasting happy marriage?
It's being best friends, I think. Being the bestest of friends, because it allows you to have consideration for your partner. So it's like when you're in high school and your best friend isn't at school that day, you feel so lost.
Yeah.
Like you don't know what to do. So it's just important to be the homie's homie.
I'm a holiday girl. I love my holidays. My husband knows. I don't mind, like, take away everything in the house. Like, I don't mind selling stuff so we can go on vacation. But, you know, I know it sounds like a joke, but for us that really worked, you know, because we never really used to take time out. I think in the last couple of years, we started traveling a lot. And I think, like, it turned our marriage, like, 360 degrees.
Really?
Like, we're so much happier. You know, I think also maybe just seeing the world just opens up, you know, your mind, and, you know, it just makes you so much happier. And for me, it worked, and he saw that this wine becomes like a child when we travel. So maybe we should travel more. And then we decided, okay, let's start traveling on my birthdays. And then we started doing that, and on his birthday as well, you know. So, I mean, we don't travel as often as I would like, but that helps.
If you have a private study of your spouse, then you'll start to know certain things that get them excited and things that do not. So it helps you understand how to entertain them with 10 rand or with 20,000 rand. You know, so there are certain things that become, you know, how do you look for that one thing that makes both of you smile. Even for an example, when I'm driving alone, I'm playing different type of music. But when we're together, there's music that talks to both of us. It's something that we enjoy. So, and then we kind of like, you know, trade every now and then. And every now and then I press some of my favorite music. I can see that she's being very polite. But this is my jam now, you know.
I would say definitely forgiveness. Forgiveness, trust.
Yes.
And just laughing, having a lot of fun together. I think fun. Because if you stop having fun, you stop living. And if you stop living, your relationship dies. And lastly, I'd like to also say is we must not expect that person to be like us. Because we fall in love with a person that's totally different to us. And then when we get married, we want them to be exactly like us. So it's just to appreciate that that person's different. You're going to have arguments. You're going to have, like we have arguments all the time. But the reality is it's not personal. It's just that she has her opinion, I have my opinion, and we meet halfway. And I think trust, forgiveness, and putting God first, I'd say, like at the center of every decision that, you know, you make. We don't always get it right. We make a lot of mistakes, but just putting God first.
What Lou loves that I personally don't understand, like he loves soccer, like he plays soccer as a hobby. And I just sometimes I'm just like, why you're not professional. You're not going to get paid from this. So why do we,
never know.
Why do we do it?
I can still make it.
But I do it. I spend my Saturdays on the soccer field, sitting there, and I'm even now a part of the boys and everything. I'm like now in it. I never thought I'd be in it. Now I'm like screaming from the bench and I'm cussing and at the next team. And when we're angry at each other or something's happened, he reminds me of a certain soccer match and something funny that happened, and I die and I laugh. So I believe shared experiences are everything. Not everything everything your partner loves, try immerse yourself in it.
It will always be a hit and miss. But, you know, you keep looking, you study, you see certain things. Oh, she likes this, or if I, for an example, she wakes up, I've washed the dishes, you know. It's a nice surprise in the morning. And so there are small things that you know that actually make up for greater things. So it's just paying attention and study your spouse and know this is what makes them happy. This is what, you know, and that you keep learning some more. That's why it's a journey.
So he's very adventurous. So I was not as adventurous, but I think I've learned to say when he says, okay, let's go do this, and then I'm like, okay, I'll try it. So I might not like it, but I'll try it. Just for you.
There's not quite a secret. And you need to learn your partner and understand what is important to your partner. And then and working at what is important would surely help. But I think coming into marriage, we come with a lot of assumptions that surely she would love a glamorous life, should love this, should love expensive cars. And you find that for your partner, that's not the case.
Yeah.
So you then have to sit back and say, okay, tell me. And at times, what your partner might even tell you that they like, it's not what they really like. Because they think they like it, but the minute you sit down and say, you think you like that thing, but you don't really become fulfilled when you do it as compared to when you do this. So it's more also about listening and observing. You don't have to do one. If you listen, women will confuse you because they have a lot to say. And but if you observe, you tend to sort of restructure things. I think when I met her, I was earning something less. And then I realized that this is not gonna work. It was not gonna work. Not that she loves money, but because of how this life is structured. And then I had to start from scratch and say, okay, I need to find another job. And it's not in
Like
IT.
when we found out we're having twins, literally, like instead of him celebrating, the first thing he said, I need to find another job. I'm like, why? Yes, I'm like, what? Why? How you doing?
So
I didn't get it, but now I do.
There is no one secret.
Right.
It is a commitment that you both make and the openness to learning as much as you can. Because once you stop learning, then it means you've got expectations and things that you want to see happen. So it's just remaining open daily, because even I've met people who have got some, been married for years. Like, we know people who who've done 40 years.
72.
At some stage, we're at a church where some people are like, been married for 70 years, and you look at them, they're still blushing with each other and all those things. And the more you sit with them is the more you find out they crafted their journey and they follow a script that unfolds daily. So because most times we follow somebody else's script, and then that's where you mess up. That's not yours. That's not your journey. So you need to find out what yours is. So it just something unfolds, each and every day. You're open to learning, being yourself, and being open to, hey, listen, how can I improve here? And so that is what keeps, because at the end of the day, it's two human beings. When you first meet, you've got little butterflies of love, 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 love. Then reality hits that you're now together. And you're two different people. Male and female are different. And they can annoy each other like crazy. So that's why it's supposed to be different, so that we keep learning about each other.
First love. Keep going back to first love. Keep going back to things you did when you started. And you know what things excite you guys. We know what things. So for us, we know what things excite us. We know what we love the most. We love going out. We love sleeping out. We love,
It's always better
traveling.
in a new place.
It's nice. So you do it. Yeah. No, newer sheets, they smell nice, they feel nice.
And you don't have to
And you don't have to clean anything.
afterwards. You don't have to make up the bed.
Yeah.
You missed one thing.
What did I miss? Did I miss something? Take me through. What did I miss?
This is our love story. This is our journey.
Sure. Yes, sis. But that's our favorite part, right? That is my favorite part. Like, I keep it spicy. I love keeping it spicy. I'm not very held off on a lot of things. I'm not not very religious on a lot of things. When coming to the bedroom, I feel like it's time to explore your partner. Your partner needs to explore you, and so I do.
We've
broken a few.
things, messed up the house a bit. People still need to visit our house, so we won't mention things.
We won't mention which things.
I always surprise him. I whip out something and he doesn't know that I purchased something new this week. And I whip it out and I'm like, and he'll be like, oh, what is that now? And I'm like, oh, thank the Lord Jesus Christ.
I think she said a mouthful.
I mean, you don't stop. I think when they say don't stop dating, it applies everywhere. Like, don't sit there and constantly become Nando's chicken or like you're constantly like, I know a lot of people say after you get married, the sex lessens, and it does actually. It really does. It's not a lie. But then you have to make like a personal choice, like a conscious choice that it's not going to happen in my marriage.
I've realized something about sex. You need a lot of patience. You need a lot of patience. Like, I feel like sex is the end result. There's so much that you do to sort of get to that place, and when you rush it, it's like you're missing all this beautiful moment.
Sometimes we don't prepare Judah for stuff, and it's more fun for us. It's, just deciding
we sneak out,
we're going out for a movie now, and let's just
and
sneak out and leave our helper with baby and go and just come, or just for coffee. We would also do nights where we just do coffee.
Because I think you actually feel you do miss the time together.
We do miss the time together.
And you would know that because you'd be like, I'd be acting up, I'll be like, it's time, let's just get out of here. And she'll be able to read out, this guy's acting up if something doesn't happen now. Yeah.
Something's going to explode.
Don't stop looking good for your partner as well. That's very big. And that's very key, both parties. Because you tend to get so relaxed that you feel like, nah, he's used to, he knows me at my best, Like, just don't stop. And also don't stop complimenting your partner as well, because it also gives them a certain edge. Actually, these pants do look good on me. She's right, and just, it's the little things.
Yeah.
They count for a lot of things. Sometimes think aloud, because sometimes we just think it in our minds. Even I tell her every time, even when I'm angry at her, when she'll pass the after bathing and I'm like, yeah, okay, carry on. But I won't tell her. But I mean, even when I'm angry, you think of those things, but just compliment her and then do it. It helps you guys.
Love is a choice. I mean, Jesus didn't have to come die. He chose to come die for all of us because he loves us. And again, the unconditional aspect of it is whether we like him or not, and he still died for us. Whether we knew about it or not, he still did. And having that as a very vivid image and an image that you live every day as a born-again Christian is that you're loved. Whether you're upset with God or not, he still loves you, But to encourage someone about just getting married or the reason for marriage is literally you get to spend the rest of your life with someone who's got your back all the time. And the opportunity of having someone's back for the rest of their lives. In the sense that God doesn't make you perfect for marriage first and then you get married. You choose, you pray and ask him, Father, I believe I'd love to get married. He qualifies you. So he says, get married. And then it's not a case of, you need to be perfect before marriage and then get married and you're going to be perfect forever. It's a sense of here's the certificate. I mean, it's the only qualification. You get a certificate before, and then you go through everything. So it's not even a thing of you will not make it. You've made it already. Here, take your certificate, your marriage certificate, and look at it every day. You are qualified. It's a believing aspect of it. I believe that I'm good enough as an individual. I'm good enough for my wife, and I'm good enough to be the best husband that God intends for me to be for her.
Love is finding somebody who you can live through your bad days with. That even on a bad day, that's the person that you want to go home to. Even when you're fighting or something, and he's like, it's 5 o'clock, but you feel like maybe he's not coming home, and then you call and say, are you coming home? But so love is finding that person that you will withstand the storms and all the seasons with. So that, for me, that is love. If you can find somebody like that who brings you peace in the storm, that's the person that you should marry.
If we can emphasize spiritual wellness and just better, being a spiritually sound person, or somebody seeking even soundness and emotionally sound, you then gravitate easily towards that which comes out of it, the need to nourish and be nourished. And that's where the beauty of when you find someone who's got the same way of thinking, that it comes. And that's why, the couple we're talking about, we've been married for over 75 years now. They met when one was 18, other one was, was still like 20, 22, and it's one of those where they've been together for a while, and they look at each other, they say, we couldn't have done it any other way. So it's, we've got things that we put age. This is the age to get married in. You need to do this first before you get married, so that you do not need to do all of it. Just get well. And know that if you've seen a bad marriage, it doesn't mean you're gonna have one. So it just means that be determined to say, how can I serve you, Lord, through your institute called marriage? So then that changes the game right there. So that it's not like, come on guys, let's do the fashion. Everybody is fashionable, let's get married. Whose marriage is it anyway? But those type of things. So you just want to make sure that we measure knowing what it means. Because a lot of it, I always say that the enemy doesn't specialize more in divorce than he does in putting a bad marriage together. So when he does that, he knows, these ones, I'm going to have children that are going to follow me. They're going to be disappointed. They're going to be this. Yeah, I've timed it all. So, it's so important to just,
Marriage is fun. You get to do life with your best friend, and you get to share moments with someone that you love and care about. And why not do marriage? It's something so beautiful that you get to witness together and do life together and partner for life. As you said, you've got someone backing you for the rest of your life and partnering with you, pursuing you and pursuing each other, and constantly going on this adventure and learning about each other and constantly changing, and you're doing it with someone else, and you're not just doing it by yourself. And I think that's the fun, exciting part about it. You've got this person that's just your partner for life. And I don't know, I just wouldn't imagine not being part of a partnership like this.
So the thing is, we observe things, we can say, but you can never observe commitment between two people. You can't. You can observe the actions they show you and the things they want you to see, but you can never really observe the happenings and within the unit of these two people. So I would say, if for anything, allow yourself to be married so that you can experience full commitment to the person you love, or you've decided to commit to love. Now, it's godly, it's biblical that when you've got someone that you love, you will leave everything else and cling on to this person. And as such, I believe there is favor that God has released to marriage. And God will bless everything that concerns marriage, and God will, will look with favor on marriage.
I think the fear comes in because they were not paying attention to the person they're dating. If you are aware, like when I'm actually speaking from experience. Is we had our partners that we thought were the ones, and I think when you're actually honest with yourself and stop making excuses and saying, okay, you don't have to be 3 or 4 years with someone to actually know that this is not the person for me.
Yeah.
I think sometimes we make excuses and we overlook a few things. And as women, most especially, we do that. And I think sometimes if we just pay attention to the things that, when we're together, that, how we react with each other, or, pay attention to those red flags, because it's vital. And if you are sure, there is no, there's no reason why you shouldn't get married, because marriage is of God, and it was ordained by God for a reason, for a purpose, where, the two becoming one, and when God, I really do believe that when we pray, and I've seen that in our relationship, is there's so much more power than when I pray alone. If I pray alone and he prays alone, things happen. But I think marriage has a certain anointing as well, where when we come together, one will put 1,000 to flight, two will put 10,000 to flight. We are a force together. And, also that, the children, like the generations after us that we bring up, and teach them. It's this union is important. I think I also believe that marriage brings blessing. And so that blessing is important for the generations after us.
For me, if you want to live in a beautiful environment or a beautiful community, it starts with that one family. One family, doesn't matter what they have. Could be 1 bedroom home, 2, 5, whatever. But it literally takes a happy 2 people to create a whole entire community. Marriage is beautiful. I tell them marriage is beautiful. I hear a lot of women say, I don't need a man. I don't need a man. I can do this by myself. No, you can't cry yourself to sleep at night every night. There needs to be somebody to brush you off and say it's going to be fine. When you're sick, I was asked, why are you marrying Uluyanda? Like you were saying, you're young, and why are you getting married? And it's because you love him. And I always say, if you hear a female say, oh, I'm getting married because he gives me butterflies, and that's her only reason, she's in trouble. Because that goes away. There are days you wake up and you're like, oh, I need my space, But if I had to get a call and I was told that Leander was in an accident and he lost both his limbs, am I going to be there? Am I going to stay? Marriage is being there at the worst, when they are vomiting, when they cannot move, when they've lost their job. It's beautiful. It's an ugly but beautiful thing, because you constantly have somebody there for you. Because even family does bail. Family really does bail. And we've heard many stories of that. But you have this one person that has promised that through it all, and if they really meant it, through it all, I will be there. And then you just create this whole entire community, and you multiply, and you plant, and we just keep multiplying.
This is our love story. This is our journey.
My husband is my best friend. I will never say anything to someone else he doesn't know, or tell someone else something I cannot tell my husband, because I look at friendship as a generator, which can and maintain the light while the main source power is gone. And then you look at each other, What were we fighting about? You have forgotten because you're friends. Happiness is circumstantial, euphoric, externally driven, and short-lived. But joy is an attitude, a state of mind, and is internally motivated regardless of prevailing circumstances.
Marriage is a beautiful thing. And had I known it's been so beautiful, I would have done it earlier in my life. Marriage is created so that we can have each other and be able to lean on each other. It's never ever going to be rosy, but it's a beautiful journey. For the last 11 years that we've been married, I can say that I've not regretted a single day. It's been amazing. In fact, I don't think I've had so much fun in my life. Like a lot of people think, oh, you're going to get married now, it's a death sentence. We always make a joke about, your life is over, your life is finished. Not really, your life just begins, and you have so much fun when you're married. I think I have more fun now because we're just so crazy together in terms of doing crazy stuff. But that's the thing, is like it's fun. So yeah, I'd say that it is a beautiful thing, and it's a beautiful experience, and it's a journey. It's not like it's a destination, you're going to get married now and you're done. It's a journey, you're going to grow old together. It's really an amazing thing to experience.
There's certain things that I don't see that she does, which ultimately, I mean, some people have laughed at me and said the way I dress has changed. You know, you would not have seen, I love natural colors, but maybe a little bit of color, you know, shows a different side. And that's really the fun that she speaks about. She took me shopping the one time, and just in and out of the changing room is not something I'm used to. I know my size, I know the colors I like, look at it, take and go. You know, but you become, in just something as small as that, you learn patience. And you become not only patient in that particular situation or between the two of you, when a similar impatient situation turns up in life, at work, you've got the skill of how to be impatient. Think of yourself walking in and out. Now put this one back on. Now match it with these pants. No, now take the pants off and match it with these. You know, you learn that, and it's not patience out of frustration. It's God just using someone else. I mean, if I had to put my hands like this and we're misaligned, there's going to be that rubbing. Eventually we fit. But that initial rubbing, if we were stones, there's going to be chips and chips, but we get to a point where we actually fit. So you are going to become better.
We're going to do this because marriage will represent on earth how we do things in heaven. That's the reason for marriage. We thought it was just about us because he's cute and she's beautiful, and we're going to just play house because I played house as a little girl. So it's serious. It's a very serious institution when God can say, I've created this because I want you all to represent us. How we think, how we do, how we process. And so rather than convince, I think it's really important to say that, to remember everybody loves a wedding. I don't know anybody who doesn't love going to a wedding. But the thing to remember is we all go back home. You are left. The couple is left with how, under God, how does this work? And to be clear that you don't know how it works. One thing, you mentioned secret. How do you know, what's the secret? I think premarital, pre-engagement counseling is very important. Some churches are doing that now, because before you get engaged and you're thinking this could be, I think personality test and just where you're going in life before you get involved by that ring and then realize, wait a minute. Then premarital counseling is not the night before you get married, not even 6 weeks. You know, this is something we're supposed to be doing for the rest of our lives until Jesus comes back. And most young couples go to pre-marriage counseling after they've picked the venue and put the deposit down, after she's brought the dress, After the invitations are printed, then it's a tick. Oh yeah, let's go see a pastor. That's the wrong attitude. Marriage is serious. It is. Marriage can send you both straight to hell, hell on earth. Or it is an opportunity to meet Jesus when he comes back and say, look, and hear, well done. Well done.